Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger. I am MegaFreak400, and we are in the middle, the square of Medina, or whatever you pronounce it. I didn't even see the name. The village, the monster village. There are these monsters parading around a statue of Magus, Magus von Grapple. No, I think it's actually Magnus with an N, but whatever. Anyway, according to these guys, Lavos was created by Magus, or yeah, I guess Magus. I'm gonna call him Magus. It's probably Muggus. Yeah, Muggus. Anyway, yeah, supposedly Lavos was created by Magus, which would mean that, like, after he died, eventually Lavos awakened and destroyed the world in 1999. So, we need to go prevent that. So we're probably going to be heading to the Middle Ages, because that's where Magus is waging war against the humans. In the meantime, in the village, there's not a whole ton you can do. You can get, there's some, tabs you can get here. I advise the speed tab you give to Robo, if you're using him, personally, because he's probably the slowest character in your party right now. At least in terms of speed. I could argue that Marley's a bit slow, but, then we have, to the north, there is not really much you can do there, but there is, I think, a midi-for in that little area. There's not really anything else. There's a few other things. Anyway, yeah, this is the house of the Elder, who is Ozzy the 7th? Or no, the 8th. Ozzy the 8th, I think. Yeah, I think it's Ozzy the 8th, because the V and the V would be 5, and the 3 after would be... So yeah, Ozzy the 8th, I believe. He's Ozzy the 8th, he is... No, so, Ozzy was one of Magus's generals, as we'll see eventually. And, funny thing about that, him and two of his other cronies, which I won't really name, but you'll be seeing them, or you'll be hearing their names really soon. Ozzy's named after Ozzy Osbourne, I'm pretty sure, and the other two are named after, like, you know, musicians, rock musicians, I would say. I'm pretty sure that that's the, there's a few names that are like, that in this game, that they're kind of set up, to be based on something. And I believe those are 3 of them. Ozzy being named after Ozzy Osbourne. Anyway, yeah, you can beat up these guys to get them to sell you something, but everything is expensive. You won't have. I guess you technically could buy the one thing, but any of the good armor that you want is going to just be way too expensive. I don't know. I think you could probably earn enough, but really it's not worth it. Yeah, but here we have, doesn't have as many good weapons as there was in that shop, but this guy, Melchior, who we saw earlier, he has some nice weapons that we don't have yet, so we're gonna buy some stuff from him, because he's awesome. Actually, he doesn't have a ton of new stuff, because a lot of it you should have already got. The red katana, though, I don't know if you can find it anywhere. I haven't found it anywhere, and I'm played ahead a little bit, so, I'd advise buying that. You don't have to, again. Oh, I love this. The music in this game is just fantastic. I know I keep saying that, but it is. But anyway, yeah, what's ironic, though, is you can beat the guys up to let them buy, or to be able to use the shop, but you can't beat them up to lower his prices. You would think you would be able to. I mean, you essentially do that in Kid Icarus, and in Kid Icarus, when you become stronger and you increase your strength, you could basically cause the shopkeepers to just give you whatever you want if you threaten to fight them. I mean, that's basically what you're doing, yeah, in Kid Icarus. So here we have Heckran's cave. This cave is full of magic or enemies that are resistant to, or somewhat resistant to physical attacks, but they're really weak against magic. So since we learned magic, we're going to do that. You know what really takes care of these guys is Laser Spin. Laser Spin is, I'd say at the moment, it's one of the few, I guess technically Fire Whirl, but it's the best, I'd say. It's not a dual tech, it's one of the best magic attacks right now that hit all enemies. So I definitely use Robo for this area, just because, besides the fact that Robo's awesome, Laser Spin really takes care of some of these enemies. Most of these enemies aren't that bad, though. This place isn't too horrible. In the meantime, trying to think what to talk about. TV editing. TV editing. I was watching, okay, people probably heard of Tenacious D, Pick a Destiny, that movie. Well, I was walking down to get something from the kitchen, and it was on the TV. My brother was watching it, and they were at the last part where there was this there's a song. I don't really want to spoil it, but it's not really that big a deal. But there's basically a song that contains a lot of swearing, and it just baffled me. First of all, they didn't even like bleep it out, which I guess is okay in some ways, but majority of the song is all the F word, or not majority, but there's quite a bit, and a lot of the best lines in the song contain that word. And I can understand it offending people, but like they didn't even like bleep it out. It wasn't said. So there's one part where it's just saying the F word over and over, and so there's just like this big silence, which is like okay. And then the thing that baffled me the most is they bleeped out the word dick, but they didn't bleep out the word bitch. I'm gonna still say that. They didn't bleep out that word, but they did bleep out the word dick. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? That doesn't even make any sense. If you're going to, censor words on TV, at least be consistent. I mean, honestly, dick, you're gonna censor dick? That's really that bad of a word that people can't say that? And the whole thing about censoring words is, people say it's to protect the children. Really, that's just an excuse. I'm sorry, in my opinion, to an extent maybe, but in my opinion, it's more of an excuse. Because you're not trying to protect your children. People are censoring it because they don't want to offend people who know. I mean, when kids are born, they're not instantly born knowing what the F word means. They're not instantly born knowing what anything means because they're, babies. They learn this stuff, and by having it censored, technically they're trying to impress, people like say people don't like the F word. They try and impress that what their feelings are of that word onto another generation. Now, is that right or wrong? I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's up to. But really, the F word is the only reason people get offended. I mean, if you think about the literal meaning of a lot of the swear words, they're technically a lot of things like a lot of times when you swear, they really the logic behind it doesn't make any sense. It's just the emotion behind it. So really, the only reason people get offended is due to the meanings that people have assigned to them and the emotion behind it. And by bleeping them out on TV, protect people. But the excuse people, I can understand like trying to not offend people who know what the meanings are, but they use the excuse, the children. Well, first of all, how many children are going to watch Tenacious D? I don't really think. I mean, the ones that are probably the ones that already swear anyway, because the whole TV bleeping kind of baffles me because, it kind of backfires. Kids are going to swear anyway, so really you're just kind of wasting breath to an extent. And if you're talking about the younger kids, well, first of all, if a younger kid watches the show with that word on it, they're not going to really know the meaning. Of course they're gonna maybe figure it out, but they're really not gonna. I don't know. I think we just try and protect the children too much. Just protect the children. They're going to be indoctrinated and all this stuff. I'm not trying to get too political, but some of the TV ads are just ridiculous. The one that I think of that's probably the most ridiculous TV edit of all time, and probably the most hilarious, is Snakes on a Plane. With Snakes on a Plane, the one line that's I have had it with these mother effing snakes on this mother effing plane. And I'm not swearing now, because that's the thing. I'm not swearing right now because I'm trying not to offend other people, and I can understand it does offend people. I just don't know. Sometimes I think it goes too far. I mean, again, how many kids are gonna be watching Comedy Central? I mean, Comedy Central is kind of it's home of swearing. I don't really see any. I think it's necessary to bleep out words on some things. I mean, and then you say, well, the kids could accidentally find that channel. Well, that's the parents' fault. I mean, it's not up to companies and other, organizations to, babysit the kids. That's the parents who should be doing that. If the parents don't want their kids watching channels, prevent that. And you say, well, kids will still find a way. Well, not if you parent them. I think partly a lot of people, blaming companies for, asking them to bleep it is also kind of an excuse to, cause, to just do lazy parenting. Not always, again, but I just think a lot of times it does seem to be that way for some people. Again, nothing is absolute. But then again, saying that nothing is absolute is an absolute statement, so therefore that would be an oxymoron, or not an oxymoron, but like a paradox. But yeah, these mother effing snakes on the mother effing plane was replaced on TV with I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday through Friday plane, And I have to admit it was creative, but that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous upon ridiculousness. It's better than, you know, just not showing it or bleeping it, though. I'll give them that. At least they were creative with their bleeping, but it's really ridiculous. But yeah, I guess that's my feeling, is I think that we go a little bit too far in trying to protect people. It's about balance. Balance is the key to life. And happiness, and enjoyment. And, yeah, I haven't really talked much about Heckran's Cave, but there's really not much to talk about. It's just kind of straightforward. You want to come back to this eventually. This one's actually one of the chests that it's usually hard to remember, because it's kind of an area that's kind of out of the way in Heckran's Cave. But let's, continue onward, and next time we will face, Heckran, because, you know, there's probably going to be a guy named Heckran in Heckran's Cave. So this has been Maker 400 reminding you that cherries are red.